touching story stands a chance of winning amazing prizes for your dad on Father's Day come Sunday, the 21st of June 2020. Well, remember, the submission of entries is from now till the 13th of June 2020. My Dad is Tough. That is the celebration, or that is the name for the celebration of fathers in the front line. Well, you're welcome to the studio, and today we are taking a look at how event organizers can manage to accrue some revenue for themselves, strategies that they can put in place. So there's been much talk about the COVID hitting the entertainment fraternity, hitting every event out there. Now, let's take a look at if there are some strategies that we can put in place for event organizers to accrue some revenue. Well, joining me on Zoom right now, I have Uncle Ebo of Riverman Production. Hello, good morning, and thank you for making time for us here on Joy Prime. How are you doing? Hello? Hello, Uncle Ebo. Well, we are going to be having a chit chat with Uncle Ebo, where Sadiq will also join in. Sadiq, who is the CEO of 3Music, will also join in. Then we'll also take an interview that I had with the CEO of Image Bureau, that is George Quay, and the CEO of Emmy Awards in the person of Kojo Sobo. Then again, we'll listen to the people out there. So the idea is we are looking at strategies that they can put in place to make sure that they are at least getting some revenue, making some revenue from events that they have been on and that have been happening. Well, the reason for Uncle Ebo is a little bit told me that Uncle Ebo is about to organize a theatrical concert. Well, we know that 3Music organized the 3Music Awards, a virtual one. And also, we know that the Emmy Awards is also going to happen. The idea is they are recording it for TV. So how are they going to be able to accrue any revenue at all for themselves? Well, like I said, we'll be joined on Zoom by Uncle Ebo White and Sadiq. But let's go and take a look at the interview that I had with the CEO of Image Bureau, George Quay. After, we'll take a look at Kojo Sobo, and then we'll get Uncle Ebo White and Sadiq join us on Zoom. George, I know that this pandemic has really hit events and making revenue and all that, but I don't know to which extent. How bad has it been?
It is bad. It is very, very bad to the extent that globally, events that make people gather at various venues, large capacity venues, medium capacity venues, even small capacity venues, have all had to be put on a permanent hold, suspended, cancelled, postponed, you name it. I mean, we can even look at the sports arena, from the EPO to the La Liga. The Bundesliga just came back recently. Euro 2020, all of them have had to be cancelled. When it comes to the event space, I mean, it is a complete, total shutdown. And the sad part is that the event fraternity is one of the industries that connects various, the value chain is pretty broad. It connects a number of people, because for one event, you're going to hire carpenters for the staging, you're going to hire electricians for the lighting, you're going to hire other technicians for the LED screens and everything. You're going to engage artists and other performers. So the value chain is pretty broad. And when the patrons are coming, these patrons that are coming, the multiplier effects extends to the level of hairdressers, to dressmakers, fashion designers, even transportation industry. Those that are coming from out of town to the venues where the events are being held are going to lodge in hotels and all that. So the value chain is broad. So if one event is hit, these are the number of industries that have been affected. So it is a very, very sad one. And when you think an event, think of 1 million other people who are out of jobs just because of COVID-19.
Wow, then this is even more worse than some of us thought. But let's look at strategies a company like Image Bureau you will put in place to be able to, get accrued a bit of profit or even raise funds at this event, because gone are the times you'll at least make some monies from gate proceeds. What strategies are you thinking of putting in place to be able to recoup?
Some time back, we put up an image on our social media handles, images that depicted how the industry could live with this pandemic. Because we have been of the opinion that, look, we don't know how long this thing is going to last. So it would be in our best interest to quickly think of ways we can live with it than wait for it to pass before we get momentum back. Because if it doesn't come back till December, one of the biggest events in Ghana that brings a lot of revenue, both locally to the people, to the government, to industry, to everybody, is the Kwewu Easter Fiesta. This year it did not happen. It didn't. It was zilch, zero. All the paragliding and everything was zero, So we need to start thinking very quickly. So for us at Image Brew, we've started exploring ways of possibilities. I mean, if the event venue takes up to about, say, 3,000 people, can you first of all drop it to, say, 1,000 or 1,200, and then space them, and then make sure we have all the adequate safety procedures, check people's temperature when they are coming in and all that, make sure there's enough hand sanitizers at vantage points, make sure there's enough soap and hand washing, just as you do a normal security scan for everybody who's coming for a normal event on a normal day. We should go through the same procedure in these COVID-19 times. Then again, we need to start thinking beyond the average kind of events that we know, the everyday kind of events that we know, like music concerts and all those things, and start thinking of creative ways. Can we, for instance...
Well, that was the CEO of Image Bureau in the person of George Quay, and we've been joined on the line via Zoom by Anklebo White. Anklebo, thank you very much for having time for us, and good morning.
Good morning, Kobolo.
I'm not a musician.
So you know that title nobody can take from you.
I'll don't worry. I'll resurrect myself.
Okay, you redeem yourself.
I will, and resurrect it too. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Sir.
We are looking at strategies event organizers can put in place to be able to accrue some revenue for themselves, because this COVID has really destabilized every rudiment or every basics of events.
Yes, indeed, it has.
Mm-hmm.
It has, and I don't think that there are too many options, viable options for those of us in the events and creative industry.
Okay.
I know what others are doing, online, virtual productions and things like that. It's not quite the same, because especially in my case, where I go for live theater, the community, creating the community is part of the whole business model. You've got to bring people together in close proximity for them to have a shared experience. And virtual does not quite make it, but we'll make the most of what is currently available and see and hope that sooner than later this COVID-19 will find its way out and can go back to our normal lives.
Okay. Well, Anklebo, one thing I really want to find out from you, I know that you're about to organize another theatrical event, even in this pandemic, right? The Little Bear Tour.
Yes.
Okay. So how are you going to go about it, and how are you going to, be able to raise revenue like you did with Gate Proceeds?
Well, yes, you are right. What we're doing is that we are putting up. We're going to live stream a play. The title is "The Day That Came" for Father's Day. It is our contribution to the day, our way of celebrating the day, but also our way of connecting with our patrons who have supported us all through the years. And we wanted people to have as close an experience of our live shows as possible. And so we're going to have two productions that day. The first showing will be at 4 p.m. That's when it will start streaming. And then the second will be at 8 p.m., as we would have done if we were at the National Theatre. And then after that, we'll take it off. So in terms of income, no, there's no income. Nobody's talking about income here, because we wanted this one to be our giving to the community. After this, we would see what else comes up. But for this first one of the day that came, we are just celebrating the fact that we are all alive, we are all well, and we are also saying to the world that theater, we are ready and alive.
Okay. Well, I know that you're going to miss the presence of the auditorium, people in the auditorium, and also a few activations that you would have loved to do. But have you ever thought of creating an app that you can stream for people to subscribe to be able to accrue yourself some revenue?
Yes. Yes, we have indeed. We would actually be streaming both on YouTube and on that app as well. You go to the Roverman Productions website, and then you can log on. But that will be for subsequent productions. For this first production, we just want to let it be our gifts to the community. And so there will be no charge here. But after that, yes, our app on our website would then, because that app enables people to pay with any of the payment platforms that we have currently. From international platforms like Visa and all that to Momo. And so we are quite excited about that. But that will be after the Father's Day gift to the world.
Well, I know that Ochami.
And then,
sorry,
you are talking about me missing activations and things like that.
Yes.
I also miss you. I also miss you with your camera and with your microphone, chasing me after a show for an interview.
No, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll still be there.
Okay.
I know that Ochami Kwame is doing. Ochami Kwame has been able to do it with his website Lala Fuel, where you pay 5 Ghana cedi for a live performance from 3 musicians on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. How much are you going to charge? And is it going to be compared to, let's say, if there was no pandemic and people were walking to the gates to come and pay?
No, it will not be, because we had announced in February that we're going to raise our gate fee from 80 to 100.
Yes.
But streaming online, you then have the whole world at your disposal. Plus, people are also, don't forget that data is expensive, especially in our market. And so they are already spending on their data. So you factor that into the fee they are paying. And so the rate cannot be that high. And I think that the Ochami Kwame rate may be a good index for us to consider. Whether we would also charge the same amount or something else. When we get there, I have staff who would work there.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can still hear you.
Yes, I have staff who work the numbers out, and hopefully we'll come out with a figure that will be a win-win situation for all of us, for our patrons, and especially for the new people who will be coming on board because they are outside the country, and for ourselves as well.
Okay.
The name of the game is sustainable. How to make it sustainable.
Okay. And do you think it will have a longevity?
Well, you know what COVID-19 has taught all of us is that there are no guarantees in this life. So let's take it production to production basis. And since we are in the creative industry, I'm sure that if another obstacle comes up or challenge comes up, hopefully we'll find the wisdom and the courage to do what we need to do to go around it or overcome it.
Okay. Well, actually, thank you so very much for making time for us. But you will see me, both at rehearsal and at the main event.
You promise to redeem. You promise to redeem yourself. The day you redeem yourself, we will not hear of COVID-19 again.
Actually, you are putting me to a test that I can beat you to.
All right. Hallelujah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ankle White. Well, that was Ankle White of the Roverman Production, and you heard all he said, that they are thinking about bringing up an app that will, they can stream and also take some little money from it so as to be able to create revenue. So I stepped out there and also had a chit chat. We'll continue with the George Quay interview, but let's take a listen to the interview I had with the CEO of Emmy Awards in the person of Kojo Sobo. Well, Kojo, I know that this pandemic has not been a very good era for you. Event organizers are losing a lot of revenue. I don't know how it has fared for you.
I think that it's not peculiar to the event industry. I think media, every sector has had its own share of impact, of this pandemic. But I think that we all need to accept that this thing has come. to be with us. So we need to find ways around it. We need to be very innovative. We need to see how we can let our business still go on or still thrive, whilst we deal with this pandemic, because you can't just stay at home. A friend of mine from Nigeria said there's a new term in Nigeria called COVID-20, which is hunger. So, if you're going to stay home and not be innovative and, see what you can do around, this whole situation to put, food on the table, then you're going to go hungry. You're going to be affected by COVID-20, which will probably kill you faster than the 19. The 19, okay. Yes.
So talking about innovative ways, Emmy Awards, we see the elegance around the awards nights, the beauty, the pomp, the pageantry. COVID-19 is going to restrict you. This year, are you going on with the organization of the awards?
Yes. We are having the 5th EMY Africa Awards this year. Obviously, the COVID-19 has changed all our plans. You were there last year. Last year was, every year we get better. Last year was one of our biggest awards. This year was even going to be even bigger. We had a lot of guests coming from around Africa and all that. Obviously, because of COVID-19, they can't be here. But we are still going ahead with the event, and we are trying to be as innovative as possible, whilst not losing the elegance. Not losing the prestige, aspects of the event. So my team are working around the clock. Sometimes we leave work around 11 o'clock, just planning and seeing how we can do. So we're still going to have all the things that we do. We're still going to have our red carpet. We're still going to have our elaborate stage. We're still going to have performances, but still observing the anti-COVID safety, protocols. And we are going to film at a bigger space where we can accommodate, not more than the 100 people as the government has prescribed. We are working around the clock to make sure that we produce it. But this year, focus is on producing the content for TV and for online. Okay. You can sit at home. A lot of people call me and say, "Oh, I want to come to the EMY Awards. I want to come to the EMY Awards." This is the opportunity for you to sit at home, grab your juice or your tea, cross your leg like you are the EMY Awards, and then just enjoy it, because it's going to be. The team are working around the clock. Production team are working around the clock to make sure that. It's very beautiful. It's a beautiful experience.
Virtual concerts going to take.
Well,
you heard it, and you can do that grabbing what you can drink, something you can munch on, and sit in the comfort of your homes and enjoy it on TV and on online. It's going to be on the 4th of July for the 5th Emmy Awards. That is the information I had from him. So we're going to be activating the phone lines very soon. 03022116986999, and then we'll be taking some comments from you. But before that, let's also take a look at this. I stepped out on the streets of Accra to find out from people or the general public if there was an app like this, will they love to subscribe to watch events on? And that's what they had to say.
Yes, I will do, but first of all, I will compare the cost of going to the program and watching it on my phone. If the cost is less, I will do. And again, looking at the reliability of the network, sometimes you'll be watching this program, you'll be enjoying it, and then all of a sudden the network will go off. So I'll consider all these things before subscribing it.
Very laudable, since entertainment has its own benefits. And per my interest, I would like to subscribe to something like that and watch at the comfort of my own.
I will subscribe to such application due to the cost involved. When you go to a live concert, you might pay more, so you have to compare the cost. The cost involved with such, let me say, when you go to a white concert, you will be paying 50 cedis. But when you subscribe to such applications, you might pay less cost. So to me, I think I will subscribe to such an app.
But mostly I will need to compare the prices before I will be able to subscribe. But myself personally, I'm a fan of entertainment. So in doing that, I think I'll give the benefit of the doubt and subscribe to that.
Yes, I will subscribe to. If it's moderate, I can afford it. Why not? I would subscribe it and then sit at the comfort zone of my house and watch it.
If I don't have to go all the way to an event place and watch it on my phone, why not? If I'm getting value for my money and I don't have to pay extra cost for anything, I would like to watch on my phone, yes, and I'll subscribe to it.
And you heard it from all the people that we spoke to, but what is your take on it? Phone lines have been activated right now, 0302-211-698-699. If an app should be developed that you can have on your phone to be able to watch every event, be it an Uncle White show, a theatrical show, a musical concert show, an awards, whatever show, if you have that app on your phone, is it an app you would love to pay money to subscribe and watch? Well, that is what we are talking about, and that is what I'm taking your comments on. Well, time is fast spent, so I can pick a maximum of, let's say, 2 calls. Then we get to know. So, yes, you heard from Uncle White, you heard from George Quay, you heard from Kojo Sopo, and Emmy Awards is coming up. The 5th edition is coming up live on TV, and it's going to be on the 4th of July. Well, it's so soon, time is fast so gone, and we just have to bring down the curtains on the show. Many thanks going out to you for sticking out with me, and then to all of you who have been able to make this a success. Well, many thanks going out to Luminary DMR for making sure that we bring this to you.
Mask for all. Protect you, save all.
Hi everyone. Mr. Kwanchiba is a family man who tries to keep a healthy balance between his family and his job as a frontline worker. And I want to know if you know a frontline father who is obviously putting his life on the line. I'm Movi the Motivator. Happy Father's Day to all our frontline fathers.